I think we are live now.
We are live.
And we usually like let people come in to the room. Give them a second. Woo.
Yeah, I don't have my computer up, so
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
if there's something that comes up, you just have to let me know. I'm not
Okay.
looking at anything. Mm.
Nobody's in the room yet.
Okay.
People like it.
Hold on. I'm having problems too. Like sharing it. Weird.
So this is title.
Postpartum Doula Support. All right. Well, it's 11:01. Wait a second.
Couple more minutes.
Couple more seconds. Do you have anything you want to ask us?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Is there something I should ask?
I don't know. Is there anything you want to know?
No. Yeah, you can't ask me when I'm like on camera because I can't think.
You can pretend. You can pretend it's not there.
I know. I don't have any. Well, I do want to find out more about the as we talked about Tomeka, the race, the track.
Oh, the 5K?
Yeah, I definitely want to find out more about that.
I need to post more about the 5K. I've been kind of,
Well, it's in October.
yeah,
October 24th.
October 24th. It's the second year.
Our second annual 5K. Helps us raise money for scholarships for doula
And
training.
doula training and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Bringing awareness, educating, so on and so forth.
And it's fun. Like, it was so much fun. We had a good time. Huh?
I'm gonna try to come out and bring my son, my sons, and then maybe look at getting my little one into some type of track. Or
Oh, yeah, that's right. She wanted to talk to you about track.
Yeah, I have.
Are you in Charlotte?
I'm in Charlotte. Yes.
Nice. Okay.
So, and I have a 6-year-old that I'm looking for activities for him. He'll be 7 in November.
7 in November.
Yes. So I'm thinking that could be good to get some energy off.
Yeah, we do indoor track. I don't know when we're starting at though. I think last year we started in December. No, we started at the end of November. But
Okay.
I don't know how our season is gonna run with all this COVID stuff going on. Hopefully they don't shut down indoor track, but we don't know yet.
Where does it take place? Which track or which location?
Well, we've been practicing a couple of different places because a lot of schools have been, closed. So 1 week we might be at Mountain Island. 1 week we might be at Wilson Middle School. 1 week we might be at MLK. Here lately we've been at Wilson Middle School, but
Okay.
it can vary. So I know, but last year we were at Victory Christian Center, so
Yeah.
we were paying rent there, and it was working out. But then once COVID shut everything down, it was, they shut their school down, so we kind of had to hop around a few different places.
Right.
But yeah, I'll get you some more information later on.
Yeah, I think
Let's start.
So, Brandon and Tomeka are here from Jace's Journey, and we have with us today Taletha Reyes, who is a birth and postpartum doula, and the owner, founder, operator of Hope and Love Doula Services, located locally here in Charlotte, because we like to support the home team. Before we do that, I just want to give a shout out to Beastly Intentions Gear for our gear, the pullover and the t-shirt.
Yeah.
So thank you, Beastly Intentions.
This one got the name on it. Oh, Jason's Journey on the back.
They hook us up, so we definitely appreciate that. Marquito Hargrove is the owner, operator of that, so we want to give him a shout out. Thank you, Marquito, for supplying us with gear. And we are going to start now. Thank you for being with us, Taletha. We really appreciate you being here. And we have an announcement towards the end of our broadcast. So we want you to tell us a little bit about you, your experience, and how you became a birth and postpartum doula.
All right, sure. I would love to tell you all about that. So thank you, Tomeka and Brandon, for allowing me to talk about Hope and Love Doula Services. Definitely would first like to just say you all do such great work. I really applaud what you do and being out in the community. Yes, you do. I've always been just been so impressed since learning about Jace's journey and just to carry on your son's name. I think that's awesome. So it's near and dear to my heart, not because of my own personal experience, but right now I'm training as a PAL advocate. So pregnancy and infant loss advocate. And I'm learning so much, and I always think back to just your story. So I really applaud you for doing all this great work. So
thank you.
You're welcome. So as far as me and Hope and Love Doula Services, I am, as Tomeka said, Taletha, and I'm a birth and postpartum doula and the owner of Hope and Love Doula Services. And I've spent over 15 years in education, really working with children of all ages and working with adults, serving their needs and advocating for them. And helping them in so many ways. And I've decided to take all of my wonderful skills and serve mothers now in their journey from birth, labor, and bringing their baby home, the postpartum period. So that's how Hope and Love Doula Services kind of came about. I saw a need for definitely people of color to serve needs of moms and educate them. Education is my love. And so as a postpartum doula and a birth doula, I find that I have the opportunity to educate on so many options that are out there during this journey through the whole process. So as a birth doula and a postpartum doula, education is key in advocating and then also providing that individualized support. Because each person has their own story and what they would like to see. And it's such a privilege to be able to help a family, help a mom create that story for themselves. So that's just a little bit about what I do and who I am.
I love that. Helping them create their story. I love that.
So could you explain to everybody what's the difference between a regular doula or a birth doula and a postpartum doula?
Yes. So a lot of people aren't as familiar with postpartum doulas. And so a birth doula, or sometimes you'll hear a labor doula, is a person that supports a mother during pregnancy and then also during the laboring period, and then they're there for the birth. And so as a birth doula, I get to help the mom prepare for that time for giving birth. There's a lot of preparation up front where you meet for appointments to get education on comfort measures, education on what labor would look like, and also just education on the stages of pregnancy. And then as a birth doula, I am there through the whole labor process with the mother, laboring at home or sometimes in a hospital or birthing location, whatever the birthing location is. And then you do a little bit follow up after the birth just to see how the experience went. So that's a birth doula, but a postpartum doula is there with the mother once you bring baby home. So a postpartum doula provides that support when the newborn comes home and mom is there and she's going through that process of healing and bonding with her baby. So the type of support we give is with just helping newborn education, making sure mom is taking care of herself so she can take care of the baby, so she has everything she needs to heal and to rest. And so sometimes that's, doing things around the house, making sure mom is getting the right nutrition, and then also providing any education on signs, warning signs to look at with the baby, with mom, that may cause her to have to contact her provider, and also checking for myself, I like to check for postpartum mood disorders. So the birth is during the process before baby comes home, and postpartum is once baby is home.
So I think people don't understand like the importance of postpartum support. Can you explain why that's so important?
Yes. It is very important in our culture, in the American culture, that is, we tend to put a lot of pressure on women to have that baby and get up and get right back to it. But in just about every culture around the world, there's a 40-day period of rest during the postpartum time. And that's when mothers sit down and they just rest, get the right nutrients, and bond with their baby. So there isn't in most cultures a rush to get up and go. And it's really important that you do have the proper care, because you just had a baby. You just brought someone into this world, and you have this humongous wound actually inside of you that needs to heal. And forcing that can lead to so many problems and complications. And also during that postpartum time, that's the time when all the fun takes place with the supportive family when you're pregnant, before you bring the baby home. So everybody's excited, you're pregnant, you got the baby showers, oh, I can't wait to meet the baby. And then all of a sudden you're home and you're with this little human and everybody has disappeared. And you're tired and emotions are going all over the place. So having someone that can be there, an objective view that can be a professional to educate you is so important, to make sure that you're getting what you need, and that you don't have to be the one to do everything. And it's not a way to replace family members or a partner. It's a way to support them as well, because many times they don't know what to do and what to look out for and how to help. They just know the stories they've been told and what their own feelings or emotions are. So that postpartum support, I feel, is very, very key, and one of the most important parts that we miss when mothers have children.
So as a postpartum doula, like, do you just support the mother, or do you support the father or the spouse or the partner, or like what all does that role encompass, or like what's usually your main focus as a postpartum doula?
So for me as a postpartum doula, mom is key. Mom is number one. But being able to help the father, being able to help family members that are there, their team, would be something I would do. So kind of in the background, teaching them how to care for mom. So that's why I say mother is first, because all of this is around caring for mom so she can heal and get better and connect with the baby. But the father plays a very important role, because they need to care as well, and then anybody else that's in the house. So yes, support the whole family. If there's siblings as well, as a postpartum doula, I help with the siblings. I help support them. Anything to make sure mom is getting the rest that's needed in that bonding time. So it's a whole family support.
So as far as like the support and like the length of support, I guess you would have like specific packages based on what the mother wants and what the mother needs. Can you kind of explain like your different levels of postpartum services, and how long you're willing to like go out, I guess, after the birth of a baby, or
Yeah.
postpartum support basically?
Right. Postpartum support pre-COVID, even starting in the hospital. So as soon as the babies are born, a postpartum doula sometimes will go into the hospital that immediately after birth to be with mom for just a few hours if mom wanted that. But most of the times it starts as soon as mom comes home. And so mom brings the baby home within 48 hours, 72 hours, depending if it was a vaginal birth or a C-section. And it's based off of hours. So as a postpartum doula, create a package of my packages are for a month of support, where I'm coming out so many days a week, or sometimes in the beginning you need 5 days a week, or 2 months of support. But mothers can go for, I just want a little bit of support in the beginning when they first bring baby home, and it's by hours, where you may come out for 4 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours a day. And then some mothers want that support for 3 months or 4 months. So, as a postpartum doula, my role is to almost work myself out of a job. I don't want a mother so dependent on me that they feel they can't do this on their own,
Right.
but I want to be able to help them and educate them in the beginning to feel prepared and confident with caring for their child and caring for themselves. So the packages are by hours.
Okay.
And sometimes it's grouped in hours. Okay, you can have 64 hours of support, use it the best way you need throughout the week, but for a minimum of 2 months. Or sometimes people will say, I just need 4 hours today, and I think I'm good. So it's very flexible, and it is catered to the mother's needs.
Okay.
So, like, how familiar are you with like a traumatic birthing experience, and like what are your thoughts and feelings on that?
Um, there's a lot of people that experience birth trauma, and I am somewhat familiar with that. And a lot of times they don't recognize that birth trauma. It happens to you, and you think, "Oh, okay, that wasn't the best experience," and then it's still lingering on as it should, um, years after or months after. And so, with trauma, with any trauma, a lot of times we on the outside can see it before the person that has the trauma can. And birth trauma affects women in so many different ways because it affects your next birth. It affects what you tell people when you share your experience. So birth trauma is something that I'm familiar with, and I try to recognize it when I see it come up. But it is something that can be helped as well. You don't have to just say, I deal with it and that's it. There are people out there that can help you work through that and process through that. And it needs to be spoken and addressed as well.
Would you, as a postpartum doula, be able to help or guide a family or mother or whomever through a situation like that, or would you have to refer them to somebody else?
So it would be both. Being there to provide that safe space to talk about it, to process it, would be my role as a postpartum doula, but also we're given a resource. So a lot of times we give community referrals, community resources. If I see that it was a traumatic event, a traumatic experience, recommending a therapist who can help process that. But me, as a postpartum doula, I'll be there to listen, to empathize, to really validate, yes, this is real what you're feeling and it's okay.
Not yet. I'll be thinking of questions along the way. So don't get too comfortable over there.
So, is there anything that you really want as far as a community to know about doula support in general? And, you know, is there anything that you think that people should know about doula support and how to, I guess, how to contact you through your services if they're looking for doula support? Because, I think there are options when it comes to doula services, and everybody can't cater to every person, and availability might not be there. So, like, you could be going out of town, so you can't, maybe can't do someone that's due in the next month or so. But, can you just talk about like how you kind of start the process of becoming someone's doula?
Yes. Good question. So, um, if you're pregnant and you realize, okay, I think it would be good to have a doula, you first reach out and you interview doulas. It's very important because there's a doula for everyone, but not every doula is for everyone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I may not be a good fit for a person, but another doula would. And so it's really important that when a woman considers having a doula, that you reach out to the community. And there's a lot of ways. You can obviously Google, you can go on Facebook. There's so many support groups for it, and there's actually doula search places as well. Like in our area, there's charlottedoulas.com, and you can go there and search from various doulas. So really looking at what their philosophy is, looking at what their passions are, and then doing a consultation, doing an interview just to have a conversation to see if you click is really key when it comes to doula. Going back before that, you kind of mentioned what do they need to know. It's very important to have a doula. We get support in so many other areas, but some reason we feel like I could just go out here and I can just have a child and I'll just Google it and I'll just ask my friends. And doulas are professionals, they are experts at this. And they're also very objective. So they're not going to tell you, here's the way I would do it and this is what you should do. They're going to give you evidence based information. And so it's really important to have that kind of support through this journey when you're pregnant and when you're laboring, when you have birth, when you give birth, and then when you bring the baby home. It is an investment, but so is everything else, in life. And so, but it can be very affordable, and there's many options for paying for doula services. So I definitely recommend if anyone's pregnant to at least explore the option of having a doula. And then as African Americans, it is so key because we are the ones that are dying at the highest rate. Because of birth-related deaths, and it shouldn't be in the United States. So having someone there that can educate you, and advocate for you is very, very important, especially as an African American woman. So that's why
Right.
I feel every pregnant woman needs to have a doula. But it starts with an interview, kind of searching, looking to see what doulas are in your areas. For my services, uh, um, my website is hopeandlovedoula.com, and then everything, all my social media, my Facebook, Instagram, Hope and Love Doula. You simply go there and doulas list their packages, how much it costs. Doulas list what they do. So not every doula is a birth doula, not every doula is a postpartum doula, and then there's also other services as well. So kind of knowing what support is needed and what support options are out there, starting with that conversation are key. And then once you do that and figure out, okay, what options do I have for paying for this, you would book a doula. You would book a doula. You can do it as early as 6 weeks pregnancy, or you can do it late into your pregnancy, into the third trimester. It just depends on where the woman is that's pregnant. So you book that service, and then the doula will support you. If it's a birth doula, they'll support you before the birth. And postpartum doula, then they'll come out as soon as the baby comes home. So it's not a complicated process. I think sometimes people feel like, I've heard this word doula, but what does it mean? Because hospitals and doctors do not talk about it as widely. I know with my two children, I had no clue what a doula was. No clue. I remember at my OBGYN office, there was a flyer about a midwife, and I was like, well, what's that? Oh, you can contact them and see what they do. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's not important. So I never looked at it again. I was like, what is this option? I don't get it. My doctor never talked to me about, do you want a doula? Here's what a doula does, a midwife. I just knew, okay, you have a baby, you go to the doctor, and then kind of do some research, read some books, look online, and you figure it out.
Right.
And I had no clue of where to look. But now knowing the word, it's really about education. You can just Google doula in your area, and all kinds of information pops up. And the amount of information I learned and the various options that are out there, I wish I knew that when I was pregnant and when I had my two children. I had good birth experiences. I didn't have any complications or problems that were major, anything major. I thought I had a great birth experience, but then learning as I went through my training as a doula, I'm like, wow, I didn't know anything. Didn't know anything. No one taught me all of this. So,
what are some of the questions what are some of the questions that you would recommend that people ask when they're interviewing a doula or trying to get acquire some doula services?
well, definitely asking about what services are provided. So, are they going to stay? Are they a full spectrum doula where they work with you all the way through? So a full spectrum doula works with you any situation with pregnancy. So, if you had a miscarriage, if you had a stillbirth during your pregnancy, all the way to the end of your pregnancy. So, asking about that. What type of doula? Are you just are you a birth doula? Are you a postpartum doula? Another question is how many, what's the experience? So how many births have you attended or how many clients have you worked with before? Definitely asking about hours. With postpartum doulas, there are doulas that work overnight. So there's overnight doula work, and some doulas in postpartum do not work overnight. So that schedule is really key. And then with birth doulas, when would the doula come out when you're in labor? A lot of times it is at the house. So I come out and help you labor all the way through the hospital. Now in COVID situation, you have a lot of virtual doulas that won't go into the hospitals, and so they'll help you at home, maybe even go to the parking lot with you at the hospital, but they're not there, but they'll be available virtually. So asking what type of access you would have to your doula is very key. Whether it's by emails, when will you be available to me? Another question is if something was to happen with your doula, is there a backup doula? And so, if yes, backup doulas, a lot of people do have backup doulas, and a lot of times they'll tell you who the backup doula is ahead of time, or you get a chance to meet them if you want to, but finding out about that because we are one person. We get sick, life happens, but definitely don't want to just say, sorry, can't be there for you and take off. So knowing is there a backup doula available is a great question to ask. And then obviously the questions about prices and the payment options. Some doulas have a variety of payment options. And so asking about that. And also one thing that many people don't know is that you can pay for doula services if you have a FSH or HSA card. So the flex spending account or the health spending account. You can pay for doula services with that. A lot of times your insurance will have you get reimbursed for it. And a few times if you advocate for yourself, they will pay for it. And so there are ways to pay for doula services. And there's people that have payment plans, sometimes sliding scales. So asking about those options are really important.
That's good information because I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't know that. And you can call your company, your insurance company, and ask that question. But that is on there. I know for sure for FSA and HSA, the flex spending account and health savings account, and that helps. That's a
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like if you know like you're planning to get pregnant the year before, you can put enough on that account to actually pay for it. Go ahead and allot that money.
absolutely.
And it saves you tax wise. So
Yeah, it is pre-tax. So
yeah.
I am one that definitely used that a lot. And before, when I knew I was trying to get pregnant, I was at the insurance meetings trying to see what I could add on. How would this work for me? Yes, if you plan ahead, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And some of the things that we do is like through Jason's journey. I mean, I know we provide scholarships for doula training, and I know some of the things we wanted to offer was to pay for a family or two to get doula services this year. And some of the proceeds from the races and like a lot of the fundraising we do throughout the year goes to helping families in particular families that maybe can't afford the services or can't fully afford it. So we try to put some towards that as well. So
that kind of actually goes into the announcement. We have partnered with Tomeka to provide doula support for a family. So you want to talk about it, Taletha?
I had no idea that was coming, by the way. So.
I was thinking, wow, that was
I didn't know that was coming up. I just more than that.
perfect transition.
So yeah, as an organization, that has always kind of been at my what I wanted to do. You know, I love the education part. I love doing these Facebook lives, but I want to actually do something. And I'm not a doula, so I cannot do that myself.
Right.
So we have partnered with Taletha and Hope and Love Doula Services to actually provide doula support services for a family. So we have created an application process for anybody interested. Preferably, the due date should be in January or later, right?
Correct. January or later.
And you know, it's open to anyone at this point. We're not. So what we'll do is take the applications. Me and Taletha and Brandon will actually go through those applications and put a few, hopefully more than one person or more than one family to be able to support this year, and we'll going into next year. So we're excited about that.
Yes.
I met Taletha through Women in Power, and again, you know, like going through or meeting all these women in this maternal health world has been amazing because I've met so many amazing people. And Taletha as one of those people who I have another instant connection with. We talk and I was like, yes, whatever you need, like whatever you need, we're there to support you, because she has amazing ideas about how to like just educate people. And she said her background's in education. So just another wonderful, beautiful soul that I've been able to meet on this journey. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to be able to help. I'm really excited to be working with you. And it's just good stuff. It's just good stuff.
Yeah.
It is.
I have another question. How has COVID changed the way you offer doula services?
Oh, the biggest way is basically not being able to go into the hospital or sometimes home. So as a doula, we want to, again, meet the needs of the women that we serve. The hospitals have restrictions put in place, and they're still in the point where they went to one person allowed with a laboring woman into the hospital. And so that was very difficult because families had to decide, wait a minute, I want my partner there, but I can't have my doula there. So that changed a lot, where the support of being so hands-on in the hospital took place before COVID, and now it's a lot of virtual. However, that doesn't mean we still didn't support or can't support. So that's where that laboring at home is very key if you're having a hospital birth. And even, you know, going as far as walking in the parking lot and going, you know, in the parking lot and helping a woman as the labor. And then the virtual support, so being available by video and phone in the hospital, is how that continued. Go ahead.
Does that the virtual situation, does that help them out, or like how does that work, the virtual?
So it would be kind of like what we're doing right now. We're watching what's going on. Okay, just, you know, and talking a mother through her contractions, and as opposed to being hands-on like doulas can be, now we're telling the partner or the family member, okay, go and do some hip squeezes here or rub her back. That's what we did before, but sometimes we can, you know, step up if we need to be more hands-on, and now we can't in a hospital situation. If it's a hospital birth, there's moms that have a birth at home. There's also birthing centers, but this is mainly hospital births that have affected it. So it's not, I think sometimes people feel like, oh no, I can't really have that support. We could support just as much virtually. And there's doulas that have been providing virtual support way before COVID anyway. So it just depends on what the family's looking for, because there's also women that don't want such hands-on support, just want that education piece and that encouragement piece and being that cheerleader. And so you can do that from anywhere. So, I mean, I think that's the main way. And then with postpartum, of course, people social distancing and feeling a little worried about bringing people into their homes, you have your protective gear. So having a mask and gloves. Again, masks probably weren't used before with COVID, but now if I go into a home, I will have on a mask. I will wash my hands like I would have done before many times and wear gloves where it's needed. But some families still don't feel comfortable with that. And so you become more virtual support. That's a little more difficult because you do want to be there. And part of our job as postpartum doulas, hey, you want to take a shower, I could be there to watch your baby for you. I can't do that virtually. So sometimes that becomes harder. But I think that's where, as a doula, I help encourage the support system around the mother to kind of step up more and give them direction of where to go. But that's what we do anyway.
As a postpartum doula, what are some of the key things that you would tell a mother at postpartum that, as far as self-help goes? What are some of the key things that will help a mother help themselves, basically?
Listen to your body. Don't push yourself. Don't feel like, oh man, it's been a week, I should be up and moving more. Nope. Pay attention to your body. If you're feeling like I'm not quite ready to get up and do all that walking, don't do it. Your body will tell you when you're ready.
Right.
And so a lot of times the heavy bleeding that comes with postpartum period is because you are doing too much. You're not resting enough. So the number one thing I would tell a mom is definitely listen to your body. When your body says rest, you need to rest. When your body says, nope, don't do that, don't do it. Ask someone else to do it for you, and that's hard. We don't tend to want to ask people. We can do it ourselves, especially as African American women, at least in my experience. But asking for help would be number two. Do not be ashamed to ask for help, because it's okay. It's okay. You just brought a life into this world. It's all right to take a break for a bit.
Right.
It takes a lot of work to do that. So being able to say, I need help. Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me is really key. And then just enjoying every moment with the baby. So bond as much as possible. This newborn is there, needs their mom, needs their dad. Bond every second you can get. Don't feel like, nope, the baby should try to figure this out on their own. They were in you for 9 months or 8 months, or whatever it may be, and they need their mom. They need that connection. They're trying to learn this world, and having a parent is really important to do that with. So those would be probably the top three things I would say.
Gotcha. So you're into education or an educator. So do you teach women, men, people how to become doulas, or like do you refer them somewhere else, or how's that
So I'm not a doula trainer. Something in the future I would love to do, but I'm not there yet. And so anyone that's interested in being a doula, there's so many great programs out there. I got my birth doula training through Wise Community Doulas, and I know you have
You know them.
on here. I know from yes. So from Meta Darling, and then now you all are providing scholarships. So Wise Community Doula training.
That's what we work for, right?
Yeah.
What we do.
That's right. So it's an awesome training. That's a great way to become a birth doula. Meta covers everything. She really does.
Yes, she really does.
Doula. Yeah, so she'll cover it all the way from birth to postpartum. I took a postpartum doula training with Kappa, and forgive me because it's a long name. I can't remember what Kappa stands for, but Kappa, if you look into doula and Kappa.
Is it Kappa with a K?
With a C, CAPPA. Don't quote me on that. Because my mind just stopped. Actually, I have it sitting right here. I was like, but Kappa is the organization. Now I feel bad because I got to say it. Childbirth and Postpartum Professional Association.
Okay.
Childbirth and Postpartum Professional Association, CAPPA.
Okay.
Is who I completed my postpartum doula training with. And then I'm in the process of getting certified. So if you're looking to become a doula, you can be trained as a doula. There's so many trainings out there that you can do and specialize, whether it's birth, postpartum, the whole gamut, childbirth education, lactation, associate. There's a lot of different options. And then certification is a process that an organization, like for example, Kappa, will allow you to get certified as a doula. And it can be, again, one of those special areas, but it's usually about a 2-year process. You have to see so many families that will write a review for you. There's a number of books that you have to read. There are classes you have to take. So it's not anything that's done lightly.
That's how it should be. That's pretty legit.
Yes, it is. So you don't have to be certified to be a doula. It is just a personal preference, and you can get a training. And the moment you have your training, you're a doula. So when I took my training with Wise Community Doulas, at the end of the training, she said, "Congratulations, you're a doula." So it's not a difficult process, but if you want to go further, and for me, that's important to me, I want to get certified as a postpartum doula. And down the line, maybe some other ones.
So when you get certified, does that expire, or is there like continued education involved with that, or like what is that process like?
So certification process is similar to any profession where you do have continuing education that you have to do over so many years. For some organizations, they have a lifetime certification. And then for majority of them, they may say, okay, your certification is good for this many years and you recertify. And so you have to really learn the requirements for your organization. And just like finding a doula, you have to find an organization that fits with you and your goal and your needs.
Oh, okay. That's good stuff.
Learned something new today, didn't you?
Good questions.
Hopefully everybody else learned something too.
Yeah, I hope so.
Such is our goal. That is our goal.
So like as a postpartum doula, like when other children are involved, like what does that process look like? Do you? I don't even know what that. I know you don't like necessarily provide like child care services, but like for I don't know, for like a small child, or maybe it's like a single mother with a small child, or like how does that work?
So sibling support, as a postpartum doula, it really, again, it goes back to what the family needs. It's not childcare. So it may be getting the resources. If you do need childcare, help a mom to get those resources or referring out. But it also can be explaining, since have a great knowledge of what's going on to that child in child-friendly terms, what's taking place with mom, and also helping the child to bond with the newborn that's in the house. So doing a lot of that. Sometimes it's just allowing mom to rest and being there to support or watch the sibling, but not as babysitting services, if that makes sense.
Right.
And sibling support takes place as well with birth doulas. And so especially like if you have a home birth and you want your children to be involved, having a professional that can explain to the child kind of what's going on with the birth, and also knowing when's the times for the child to be there and for the child not to be there. So that's mainly that sibling support, providing that education to a child about what's going on, rather the postpartum period or the laboring period.
Yeah, and I'm assuming there's so many people that they just like don't know. So like it could be their first child and they don't know what questions to ask or like how to go about getting that information. So as a doula, is it your job to kind of feel that out, or like just guide them in the right direction, or what would you say?
Yes. Absolutely. So that interview or consultation is so important because as a doula, I'm listening. I'm listening to the concerns and the needs of the mom, and then helping her to figure out what would be best to meet those needs. Providing resources is a huge part of it because as a doula, I don't have everything. I'm here to support mom to get what she needs to make the best decisions for her family. So providing that evidence-based information, or here's some great community resources where you can look, is what I'll do. So I think if you feel like, okay, I'm a first-time mom or I'm pregnant for the first time, I have no clue what to do, just having a conversation with a doula, and then the doula would guide and direct you.
Right. Has there ever been an instance where you may have turned down a family, or I guess was like, you know what, I might not be the right fit for you. This isn't, kind of going the way that we had originally planned, maybe to go this way or that way. Like, have you ever had an experience like that where you had to turn somebody away or something?
Absolutely. So when a mom is interviewing me as a doula, I'm interviewing them. I can't provide the support if I don't feel comfortable that we're a good fit. So, for example, if a mom has um, a a birthing experience that she wants, and I don't feel I can be the adequate person to support that, I'm not gonna, connect with that family because I can't give the support that's needed. So yeah, absolutely. We as doulas and me as a doula will have turned down a family and say, this just isn't a good fit. But what I always strive to do, if I can't help, let me give you some resources that you can help. I never want a client to walk away and feel like I just said, sorry, good luck. I always try to give something and give a referral or give a resource or something to help them to get to the goal that they want to make. But I'm not a good fit for everyone, and neither is every doula.
So if a person couldn't afford doula services, they couldn't get in contact with us, they couldn't get in contact with you, and but they know they know they're gonna kind of need some help or they want to help somebody. Like, what kind of like guidance would you give to somebody that maybe couldn't afford the services or
Mhm.
just they didn't have access to it?
Access to the services.
Yeah.
And so, well, one, if they really want to try to figure out a way to afford, I would give some suggestions about, people like to give gifts for the baby. Give a gift for doula services. A lot of times, that's a great baby shower gift to give. Asking a few family members to help pay for this investment. If they can't find a wonderful organization like Jesus Journey or other doulas, that do sliding scales, get other people involved. People love babies, and what do you need? What do you need? Okay, well, what I really need is some help towards paying for doula services. So that's a great way if you want to figure it out. If it's just not possible, because that's true. I mean, that's life. Sometimes it's not possible. Finances just aren't always there. Then that is where you can talk to a doula again and ask for some resources to help you get educated, the best places to go to find that evidence-based information, so you can get as much as you need for your family and for yourself. You may not have a physical doula there, and that's okay, but there's a lot of great resources out there to educate you. You just need to be pointed in the right direction. So maybe not this time with one child, but maybe later.
Right. Well, I think that's all we had, right? Did you have another question?
I have asked all of my questions. And so they can reach you at hopeandlovedoula.com.
Yes.
And
you're on Facebook as Hope and Love Doula also.
Yes, Facebook and Instagram is Hope and Love Doula. My website is hopeandlovedoula.com. I think your wonderful service that you're going to provide for a family for doula services, the application will be on Jason's Journey's website, correct? Maybe.
We may actually have to post it on a Facebook page for until we figure that part out.
Well, contacting you or contacting me.
You definitely contact us.
We can get the application out. Yes. And as you said before, it's for any mom that's due January or later.
Yes.
So January, February, March timeframe. And it's a process, but I think it'd be great to provide that service for a family.
Yeah, and then one thing we do want as part of that service that we want to provide is a trimester check-in, just so we can follow and make sure that just see what the progress is, and then an afterbirth check-in and a postpartum check-in is also something be a part of, but be in the know about, just so we can just see the journey of the pregnancy and how it progresses.
And not necessarily chronicle it, but but just to show people what healthy doula services look like, and just share their journey along with our journey, just kind of show what all is out there. It's not just in the hospital or in your home, but there's very capable, loving people that can help you with that birthing experience. So we just want to be a part of as many journeys as we can along ours and help out as many families as we can. Because that's part of our mission. Like part of our goal is to change the narrative, educate, empower, and bring our community together through everything that we do. So,
get back to the village.
Yep. So we are trying to be village chiefs or help out village chief, if you will. And we just want to I know Jace is like his memory and legacy and everything lives on through all of the people that we help. And so many, people show love and have gained wonderful experiences through everything we've done. So we do it for the love of him, for the love of my family, and for the love of so many people that help us out and support us. And we wouldn't be where we're at right now by ourselves. We had so much love and support from people we just met, people we've known all our lives, and everybody in between. So it's only right for us to give back and do as much as we can to help as many people as we can, and it's going along pretty good. So we're making some headway. We're making a little bit of a stink out there. So we coming along. We coming along, and then like we're teaming up with great organizations like yours and trying to pick up more along the way. So we gonna keep this train rolling.
Yep.
I appreciate everything you're all doing. I'm just so honored that we get to partner together and just meeting and talking with Tomeka. We could talk forever, and then Brandon, the work that you both are doing is just amazing. It really is. It really is, and I agree. Like I've met so many wonderful people just through my doula journey, and that's what I'm about. Just serving others and walking with them through this wonderful journey. That's what we have to do in life. We just walk alongside other people and be there. And that's my goal. That's my goal. So I'm excited about what you all are doing. And I know you're going to help. You already have helped so many, but there's so many more to help. And all because of Jace. I mean, I think that's amazing. So amazing.
Yeah. Tear.
No, literally, my eyes are watering.
So I think that's it. Well, we got the race coming up October 24th.
Yes, gonna post the link again on our Facebook page today.
Yep. Posting a link, a flyer.
Register. Still looking for sponsors.
Yep. Yeah. Sponsors, donors, people to help.
Yep.
All that stuff.
Basically, Intentions is actually sponsoring 2 people for the race. So if you're interested in that, reach out to us on our Facebook page, and we can get you signed up through BC Intentions gear. Again, thanks. That's it.
Part of a new part of the race for this year is the fun run for the kids, and new part. Well, the new part of the fun run is a costume portion.
That is actually for the entire race and not just for the kids. So
it's for the big kids too. So if you want to wear your clown costume, won't be much of a change for some people because they wear it, but that's something different. We gonna give out a prize for the best costume. So make sure you dress up, dress the children up, dress your dog up. Yeah, whoever, just come out and have some fun with us, and we gonna turn that mother out.
Thank you, Taletha. I live it.
It brings the comedy. I love it.
Pray for me.
Pray for me.
Pray for me. He's special. Thank you so much. Thank you for the information. I felt like it was a lot of nuggets. So thank you so much. And we will be talking to you very soon.
Yes, very soon. Yes.
And
I think that is all. And we will sign off now. Thanks
everybody
for
tuning in.
And we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.